Friedrich Nietzsche did not have many friends. He had a few close companions that drifted in and out of his life. He proposed marriage to a woman named Lou Salome and was rejected. He fell out with the composer Richard Wagner, whom he once considered a father figure. His sister manipulated and betrayed him, editing his unpublished work after his mental collapse to align with ideas he despised. By the end of his productive life, Nietzsche was profoundly alone, and yet he wrote about friendship with more clarity and honesty than almost any other philosopher. He did not romanticize it. He did not pretend friends were some sacred bond of unconditional love. He saw friendship for what it actually is: useful, convenient, and occasionally beautiful. Nietzsche believed that the wrong friends are worse than no friends. He wrote that the worst enemy you can meet will always be yourself. But the second worst enemy is the friend who drags you down while pretending to lift you up. A bad friend does not announce themselves. They do not walk up to you and say, "I am going to waste your time and drain your energy and make you smaller." They cloak themselves in familiarity, in shared history, in the fact that you have known them for a long time, and you tolerate them because the alternative, having no one, seems worse. But Nietzsche would ask you a brutal question. Would you rather be alone with someone who makes you feel lonely, or simply be alone? Because there is a difference. Loneliness in solitude is painful but honest. Loneliness in a friendship is worse. It is loneliness wearing a mask. The truth is that human beings are social creatures. We evolved in tribes. We need connection to survive. Friends are convenient because they provide things that family sometimes cannot. Your family cannot be with you at social gatherings. They cannot fill the role of a peer. They are bound to you by blood, not by choice. And there is a particular kind of validation that comes from someone choosing to spend time with you, not because they have to, but because they want to. This is why friendship matters. Not because friends complete you, not because you need them to be whole, but because the right friend makes the journey better. Nietzsche had friends who mattered deeply to him. The theologian Franz Overbeck remained loyal to him until the very end, even when Nietzsche was losing his mind. Overbeck traveled to retrieve him when he collapsed in Turin. He took care of him. That is what a real friend does. But Nietzsche also experienced profound betrayal. His falling out with Wagner devastated him. He had idolized Wagner, and when Wagner turned toward nationalism and Christianity, Nietzsche felt personally betrayed. He wrote that it is nobler to declare oneself wrong than to insist on being right, especially when one has been right. Even in betrayal, he looked for the lesson. So do we need friends to be successful in life? Depends on what you mean by success. If success means wealth and status, then no. Many of the most financially successful people in history were isolated, obsessive, socially difficult individuals. Steve Jobs was notoriously hard to be friends with. Isaac Newton died a virgin with few close companions. Nietzsche himself achieved posthumous success while living in near-total isolation. But if success means a life well lived, a life with warmth and connection and meaning, then the answer is different. You do not need a crowd. You need one or two people who see you clearly and stay anyway. The problem is that finding those people requires you to be that person first. Nietzsche would say that to find a good friend, you must strive to be one. You cannot expect loyalty if you offer none. You cannot demand understanding if you give none. Friendship is a mirror. The quality of your friends reflects the quality of your own character. Because people who are worth knowing are drawn to people who are worth being. So work on yourself. Become someone who does not need friends to feel whole. And from that position of strength, you will attract the right ones naturally. The ones who stay not because they need you, but because they genuinely enjoy your company. That is the Nietzschean ideal of friendship. Two independent beings who choose to walk alongside each other for a while. Not out of weakness, not out of desperation, but because life is simply better that way. And if you find yourself alone right now, do not panic. Better to be alone than to be surrounded by people who make you wish you were. The right friend is worth waiting for. The wrong friend will cost you years you cannot get back. Choose carefully, and be someone worth choosing.